Let's just watch this cutscene and marvel in my awe of regrettable decisions. Like, I know I kind of did this with the Lego Star Wars, the complete saga, with me starting the prequels after the original trilogy, but the thing is that you could start from both, since the original trilogy was made before the prequel trilogy, yet the prequels go first. I decided to do with the original trilogy first because I didn't see that many people do it, but it just flat out doesn't make sense to do the 5th Harry Potter movie after you just completed the first one. Like it's just, how do you even? That's my question. And this is a regrettable decision that I'm going to regrettably be regretting for the next couple of years. Anyways, I'm recording this on the same day as my much better, I bet, maybe not in terms of commentary, but in terms of actual, like, you know, reasons why I did it, let's play of Lego Batman the video game. Okay. And actually, one thing I want to say about that game is that I actually did that video just 3 days after. Just 3 days after I got the game, since I was so desperate to, like, you know, actually play it whenever I had gotten the chance. Also, it's kind of funny. You get a character with like a strength ability in the very first level of this game, whereas like you see all of those like kind of orange knobs in Lego Batman, and you just can't do anything about them because you haven't unlocked Bane. I don't know. It's weird that Dudley has super strength. I didn't think of Dudley as strong. I just thought of him as fat, like super fat. Like, trust me, the Harry Potter movies do not even begin to correctly depict just how fat Dudley was in the Harry Potter books. Oh my god. Dudley was so fat in the books. Like, there's no way they could get a Hollywood actor who was that size. I don't know. And even then, the actor that they chose, who was basically, in terms of acting skills, was perfect for the role, even though admittedly he did get kind of worse at the role as the movies went on, in terms of, like, you know, fitting with the character, not with the actual look of him. Man, you want to get a wet pants by sliding down the slide while it's raining. But man, this man was wide, big, and it you know, I'm kind of glad that they actually didn't hire a super fat actor, just put you know, the actor that they got in a fat bodysuit, because I don't think I would have wanted to see that on film. It would have been so ugly. Yeah, and imagine that, and Harry Potter had to live with that in his day-to-day life. And that isn't even counting all the abuse that he has with that he has gotten from the Dursleys. Yeah, that's kind of something that grosses me out a bit, is like people who are super fat to the point where it's actually kind of disturbing and hard to look at them. It's like, wow, can you really survive with that body? Like, I don't know. It's making me uncomfortable. I'm gonna stop talking about it. But yeah, and that's why, even though I do have a pretty unhealthy diet, I would like to right all my wrongs, which is kind of the theme of this whole video. With maybe getting a better diet, because I do not want to become fat whenever I'm older. I've already been cautioned, especially about, like, the whole American diet is so fattening. Even though, admittedly, I do think that Americans overall, over time, have been getting healthier. with the whole thing of like vegans becoming bigger and healthy food options becoming more readily available, and also people managing to find certain combinations, certain weird combinations to make healthy food taste better, with stuff like Blue Apron and some other, I don't know, some other food delivery service that I forget what it's called. But a lot of YouTubers have been sponsored by it pretty recently, rapidly and growing. And also, I've started to see a lot of YouTubers be sponsored by Dollar Shave Club and Loot Crate recently, but no, that's just the thing. Dollar Shave Club. I don't know, I might need a couple years, and I might actually, well, actually a long time from now, since, I don't know, in terms of puberty and body growth, I seem to be pretty late to all the newest trends in that. And then, interesting, this is one of the easiest of these puzzles, because, like, you know how I don't complete those whole magical puzzles? Well, you can just put down one brick, and then you manage to be able to get up there. Just one. In fact, you can really place down one of any of those bricks. I just did the one that was the most physically sturdy. Would have the best base. Wait, hold on. Oh, I guess I'm just stuck with the Expecto Patronum! I spit a little. Expecto Patronum! 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 You wanna... That's something that I should probably do more in these Let's Plays. I should probably watch... No, not watch. I should probably, like, yell out the spell names of the spells that I'm casting, you know, as I'm kind of doing them. At least I'll probably stop whenever I get to, I think, the 6th movie is where... SpongeBob, Harry Potter. Why did I confuse Harry Potter with SpongeBob? Starts learning how to use, you know, like, wordless spells, but it might just be... But I don't know, it just might just be a force of habit. But I guess probably not, because of the fact they usually only do these in November and December. Even though I'm thinking, I'll probably have these, later on I'll probably have these be varied a little bit more throughout the year, rather than just November and December, like they used to be. Oh look, we have this amazing battleship. These are some cool Lego small models. Even though, obviously, there are some parts that don't really look like real Lego pieces. And the music in Harry Potter is so great. I would say it's not the best film soundtrack, but man, it is really good. And Harry Potter is actually one of the few film soundtracks that I've actually kind of gone out of my way to listen to some of the tracks on its own. Usually, I'm not much of a fan of, like, songs made for film scores, you know, and whatever. Well, with the exception of you know, like songs that would usually like be like regular pop songs or whatever, but they're specifically made for movies. I love that kind of stuff. Like, man, I've ranted about, and I'll probably rant more about if it was the summer, the SpongeBob movie soundtrack, because that is just amazing, and it introduced me to probably my all-time favorite band, and it made me really appreciate my all-time favorite song to the point where it became my favorite song. Well, at least it's only my favorite song during the summer. In literally any other season, it doesn't even crack the top 40. In fact, I'm pretty sure some of the better classical Christmas songs maybe beat it out because they're just so good at capturing the Christmas mood. I'm talking about Ocean Man, by the way. I would not want to listen to Ocean Man during the winter. Which I actually kind of did somewhat listen to it. Only a couple seconds, only like about a minute of it, because of like some school assignment. It was about like in my guitar music class. It was like there's some assignment about like that I did. I actually did it. I actually did it early. I didn't even have to do it necessarily. I kind of like finished it like a week before the deadline. But yeah, it was like, what was your favorite song and how does it impact you? And I just wrote down the name and the artist name and didn't really talk about how it impacted me. So I'll probably like, I don't know, write about that, but I'm not really good at writing about that stuff. Like, I'm good thinking about what I'm gonna write for it, but actually putting it into words is a whole new hassle for me. But anyways, I'm not really much into like the kind of usual film score stuff, especially like a lot of the blander stuff is kind of like really, I don't know, it just really isn't my cup of tea, and it wasn't intended to be listened to on its own, but the Harry Potter soundtrack is kind of so good they would want to have it. Actually, there's this one song. It was called the Slug Party that I remember hearing a lot in the cutscenes for Lego Harry Potter. Yes, I watched cutscenes for this game way too many times. Not as much as the first game, but I still did. And in that compilation, they had this one song called the Slug Party, which I really like. It's like dun dun da dick da da and it uses like a nice use of violins. It has like it has some nice bongo drums, which, man, I'm a sucker for bongo drums. I also really like steel drums, even though I think my dad likes and appreciates steel drums more than me. I really like steel drums. I really like bongo drums, especially because they kind of are really good at giving out an ocean feel, even though they can still be used in like other settings that aren't just like, you know, summery, beachy stuff. Why do I say ocean? They really invoke the feeling of being on a beach, but not in the ocean. Maybe by the ocean. Maybe dipping your toes into the ocean, but not like full on in the ocean. And only during the summer. But even then, bongo drums, and even steel drums to a certain extent, however to a lesser extent, are like very good with that kind of summer feel, but can be used in other for other things, and can be used very well to express other emotions other than summertime beach party, which is something that I don't want to think about because it makes me kind of sad. because it makes me wish it was summer. Yeah, basically since September, I've been wishing that it was summer. Even early September when it was technically kind of still summer, I wish it was summer. By summer, I mean like July and August summer. Not like the stupid summer where you still have to go to school for some reason. Actually, no. I think someone's stuck on the roof. Yeah, someone's stuck on the roof of this house. Okay. Oh, wait, I think... Oh, wait, no. I should use this guy. Okay, so Kingsley Shacklebolt does have the spell. It's kind of weird that, like, this game locks you on only being able to use one spell of this character. But yeah, I think, yeah, that's the first time I've used the break metal spell, even though I've encountered situations where, like, I needed to use it a lot, but it's the first time I actually used it. Okay, so then you do this, and then, I wish you could actually do the hammer motion. I bet you would probably do that with the Wii motion controllers. Actually, at one point, I went to a friend's house, and in their basement, they had a Wii that they really never used. And I played this game on the Wii, even though admittedly, like, my friends were, you know, playing Mario Kart a bit later, and for some stupid reason, I didn't join in, especially because it's the Wii wheel, as I was very unfamiliar with the controls and kind of bad at the game, whenever I was playing it with the Wii, so... Okay, actually, where is this guy's stick? Come on, I want my stick back. Where's my stick? Oh wait, I can destroy all these things. Oh man, I love destroying things. I like how this is one area where there's not very much free play value. You can pretty much do almost everything in this area. And wait, I thought I would get a mini kit for this, and it's not even like I'm playing in free play or whatever. I guess I should get that. Oh, so this is where his stick was, and I didn't even get to ride the boat. However. Wait. Okay, so you already handed the staff to this dude, you know, Mad-Eye Moody. And then, basically, for a millisecond, the staff appeared again in your hand, but then it went back to his, and this horrible cycle. Yeah. So, by the way, one thing, even though I'm going to make this, like, maybe be a little bit longer than a normal Let's Play because it is the beginning of this, you know what, actually, discard what I was previously going to say. I'll make the most of this. I'll make it as long as I want to. As long as it doesn't reach, like, 50 minutes, because I think that should be fully saved for games that I don't feel guilty that I'm playing right now at the moment. But trust me, this whole thing of me not being that far into the first game and not being that far into the first, and then just finishing the first movie and then going right to the 5th movie, it's going to pass over in a couple of years. I bet in a couple of years I'll probably finish the story levels for all the other movies. Yeah, since I actually completed the final level for that one movie, I've had a confidence boost where I've actually been more confident that I'll be able to, at one point, complete these games. Admittedly, there is the thing that I'm not going to do a lot of the more monotonous completion stuff in these games, like with the exception of Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, which I just like that much, that'll do this. I'm not going to go into free play. You know, one thing, I'm a bit sick of this level because of the fact that I remember playing this like kind of over and over again in free play, trying to get like one extra mini kit or the stud score or something. I forget even what it was. So I am a bit sick of this level, even though I'm a bit less fatigued of this game. Oh yeah, it's a magical wrench, so it has few sounds, and the fact that these wrenches, just by someone doing a cranking motion, can actually fix stuff is even more reasonable than it really is. Well, more reasonable. Why do I say even more reasonable? Because it's unreasonable in the original games that just like doing a motion with some wrench next to a thing is automatically gonna fix it. I remember taking too long to find that out and figure that whole thing out. I don't know. For some reason, I distinctly remember one time that I was doing this. I watched some. They watched some Cool Cat 100110 YTPs, which and whatever SpongeBob YTPs, which I would rather talk about in my SpongeBob videos around the time that I was doing this, playing this one level. I think it might have even been during the summer. Oh yeah, I should go over certain things. So I remember this one time, so personally, I really wanted this game at a certain point. See, I hadn't really finished, actually no. I wanted this before I had finished reading The Goblet of Fire and watching, you know, the fourth Harry Potter movie. And this was before I had kind of, like, completed the first game in terms of the story mode, because the first Lego Harry Potter game actually took really long for me to complete in story mode, not because it was hard or I was bad at it, but because I was just kind of waiting because I didn't want the movies to get spoiled for me, even though admittedly I had the movies be spoiled for me a whole lot before I even started reading the series, because I watched, you know, the cutscene compilations. But I stopped watching those cutscene compilations, or at least just watched them up to the part that I was in the movies. Because, you know, I didn't want spoilers. Because, by the way, before I watched the Harry Potter movies and read the Harry Potter books, I had kind of had most of the Harry Potter stuff spoiled for me. And I decided to kind of have, like, you know, distance myself from the spoilers, not indulge in media that, you know, had Harry Potter spoilers in it. And, you know, just kind of avoid it, like, maybe someday, if I stop thinking about the Harry Potter spoilers, and if I get away from them, and if I don't hear them for a long time, then maybe I might actually forget them, and then I might just read the book series without spoilers. However, sadly, that kind of can't happen, since I think the connection to, like, me reading the Harry Potter books and the Harry Potter spoilers, just that alone, even if I wasn't specifically thinking about the spoilers, did kind of keep the spoilers in my head. So yeah, sadly, I did have most of the Harry Potter story spoiled for me, but I still enjoyed it. The thing about me is that I'm not as harsh about spoilers. Admittedly, I do not want to know what happened in the story. It does taint my experience, especially like the big plot points. Even though it would be worse if people just basically scene by scene kind of reviewed and spoiled the entire movie. Because then I wouldn't even have any mystery on all of, like, the smaller details of how they got to certain events. Like, but even if I don't hate spoilers as much, I still I still like don't have as much of a problem with them as other people do. Oh, someone had a crab in their suitcase. Was it a crab or was it a goyle? By the way, this is kind of funny, but yeah, in order to unlock Arthur Weasley and I don't know, street clothes, whatever he's called, Shrek in street clothes, man, imagine that as a character in a video game. And they have to have dark magic or whatever. Shrek in street clothes. I don't know. I always find whenever like games have various variants of characters, like, you know, when it says in parentheses, especially in Lego games, street clothes. I always find it funny because, you know, rapper slang and we're on the streets, this is my street, or I guess it's not, I guess that's mostly 90s rapper slang, and it's 80s and 90s rappers, and it's not as impactful or whatever as the whatever. Actually, some people don't even know that rap music existed in the 80s. Just like most people kind of didn't know that rap music existed in. I mean, that the internet existed in the 80s. People think the internet was created in the early 90s. No, it existed in the 80s. It was just in a very early form that pretty much no one used except for people who were really obsessed with technology or went to college. I went to college! I went to college in the late 80s. But yeah, the internet did exist. It was just in its very, very early stages that almost no one is familiar with. By the way, I'm eating some of the ice cream that I had on, that, you know, I made for Thanksgiving. Also, by the way, it's kind of creepy. You can rewind the video, but it's kind of creepy. All those other judges in the stadiums that weren't Umbridge, all of them had basically the same face, and it was kind of creepy. Dud Weasley, great. Dud Weasley. Okay, now I don't even know how to pronounce it. Okay, Dursley Weasley. Gray top. For a second there I was gonna say street clothes because, you know, the joke about street clothes. Also, by the way, I should probably preface this that I'm completely ashamed that I did them playing this game on the stage only because I'm not up to a certain amount to it. But otherwise, I was actually really excited to at one point play this game. On my channel, because I really like this game. It's one of my favorite Lego games, personally, especially because I have certain attachments to it. Because not only was it a part of a series, Harry Potter, that I was very passionate about a couple years ago, but also there's and even kind of passionate about now, but also there's the fact that this game, again, is one of my favorite Lego games. Admittedly, and also it has the connection of being the last Lego game to not have dialogue. And admittedly, I was okay with Lego Batman 2 not having dialogue. I mean, having dialogue because it was, you know, an original story created by the Lego creators. So even though I liked the grunts in it, I was perfectly fine, and maybe I was a bit okay with the Lord of the Rings having voice acting. I don't know, because it is more different stories. I don't know, not really. Oh, this is where you enter in the cheat codes. Oh, actually, if I ever do one of these episodes on Christmas, which, by the way, I'm recording this on the last day of November, but I would probably upload it in early December, is cheat codes. I'm going to, if I ever do play this game on Christmas, which might be, I don't know, next time I play this, which isn't going to be for a while, because I want to limit how much I play this until I finish the fourth Harry Potter movie in game form. But I would basically get the cheat code, which you can unlock as an extra, but just to kind of speed up the process, I would insert in the cheat code of where you have where you can put on Santa hats. And also, I think this is where you buy spells. Of course, I have none of them unlocked, but basically, most of the time, any time that I would have the chance to unlock spells, I would probably unlock it, even over unlocking actual characters, you know. Spells are more important than characters. Especially because, yeah, this is the character. And this is something, now personally, I don't have the restraint to be able to do this. But I wish I was able to, you know, have the restraint to have, I remember seeing this amazing video of, like, this one person who had completed the game and unlocked all of the characters, just one by one, buying every single character from the shop since they have unlocked all of them, except for the ones that I guess you automatically unlock. Actually, I don't know if you automatically unlock any characters in Lego Harry Potter. I don't know. You do, but I wish I had the restraint to not buy characters as I go. Because I would love to make a video where I just unlock all of the characters at once. It would feel so rewarding. And I would get so much of the game complete in just one play session without even having to do much. It would be so good, but I don't have the restraint. However, I do have more restraint on that kind of field than I originally did. Oh, apparently I saved a student in peril. And now this wizard is dancing in his underwear. This is a weird game. Weird game indeed. But what's in here? No, nothing. It's just dark matter. It's like Patrick's dream in Battle for Bikini Bottom. And once the summer hits, or really more accurately, the late spring, or even more accurately, the mid-spring, I'll be making more references to SpongeBob games. But for now, my SpongeBob game love... My SpongeBob game lust... no, let's go with my SpongeBob game appreciation. Okay, that's what we'll go with. Will reappear in probably in mid-April or something. I know I'm thinking about doing that kind of stuff later in the year than I did last year, slightly later. Actually, a lot later. Oh yeah, see, I like this. This is that one hub world that I always am in. It's kind of interesting how, like, it takes a while for you to get here in this game, but in the first game, this basically is just a part of one of the levels, while simultaneously being a hub world. It's kind of interesting. I guess within the story, it kind of makes sense for them to be here, but yeah, this is the leaky... Yeah, this is the leaky cauldron. I should know. Why was I even time to double check that? Even though, admittedly, nothing within here would tell me this. But yeah, this is the leaky cauldron, which I believe, I might be wrong, but I think I might have eaten at the leaky cauldron at Hogwarts and Universal. I don't know if I should talk about my my Universal vacation here, or save it for like another video. I don't know. Oh, now I have a tiny chair. But yeah, this was baked into the story. Like, as soon as all the introductory cutscenes were over, you were just stuck in this place. And man, I like it. It's a nice makeover. This place looks really HD. Actually, I think there is a certain thing that was integral to, you know, completing the whole entire game. You know, actually finishing it. Oh, frick. Oh, wait, I'll still get the studs from that student in peril guy. But yeah, I think... Oh, yeah, this is where all of the red bricks come in. So, comedy spics. Oh. Well, let's buy some of these. Disguise. I'll turn a lot of these on. Because I don't think carrot wands actually, like, disable your ability to, you know, use the wand. It's funny, but maybe I would like to take the story of this game a bit more seriously, especially around the Half-Blood Prince. Because Deathly Hallows Part 1 is where we start goofing off in the forest. And then, I don't know, Harry. And then the final movie is where we mix both the most serious and the least serious moments of the series. Us. But yeah, this area, you basically like get all the gold bricks and then you build them and then you get, I don't know, some final after thing, I don't know, some final secret level or whatever, which I actually forget what it is. But interesting, you had to go all the way down to Nocturne Alley just to find kind of an area like that. Anyways, let's end this video off by going to Hogwarts, and then we'll like mess around in there for a bit. Yeah, this is the episode where I'm just gonna do the most messing around. Oh wait, we don't get to Hogwarts immediately. Unlike the other game, we actually do have a bit of a passageway thing, which I think was added just because the Deathly Hallows Part 1, because in that movie we do go to some coffee shop around here. Oh wait, is that... Well, that's the music that I like that I was talking about earlier. Hold up, let's take this in. I'll get a copyright strike for it, but like... See, where's this music loudest? Yeah, this is one of my favorite tracks off of Harry Potter soundtrack. Of course, my my voice and commentary is a bit weird because I have both headphones on and I'm not used to talking since I want to hear this, but... Wow, this is... Oh man. Whatever, let's go to Hogwarts. Oh look, it's a SpongeBob movie soundtrack. Basically. Or actually the SpongeBob movie game. Yeah, I like that soundtrack. It had a bit of heavy metal. Nice I always like whenever SpongeBob related things include like heavier elements, like include bands who were, you know, associated with maybe not so pretty things, maybe not always not so pretty things, but I don't know, maybe have like some more explicit songs, or like just straight up do heavy metal, because kind of to show that SpongeBob isn't just kid stuff, you boys, for all the haters. So I kind of like that. Yeah, I know. Time. Woo. Let's get on the Hogwarts Express. And then, oh wait, but let's save the student in peril first. Actually, how do we save this dude? Wait, do we hit the clock? Guess we hit the clock. If I could stop time in a bottle of time, I could save all of the time. I'm pretty sure I sang that same thing with in one of the previous videos. Oh, Ticket to Ride. Yeah, Ticket to Ride. I think that's like a famous board game series. Ticket to Ride, yeah. However, I want to end this soon, especially because it's getting kind of late at night. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm not used to recording Let's Plays late at night, this late. Usually I've been kind of recently doing it slightly earlier than this, but I guess this is me recording one after I previously recorded a previous one, and they were both ones where I started playing a game, so I was more inclined to make them, you know, longer. Oh yeah, so now we got the Ticket to Ride, and let's go on the Hogwarts Express. And let's pump out those jams. Da 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 dun dun bun dun dun da 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 dun 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 da 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 da. You know, Thomas the Tank Engine might not be for me anymore, but definitely the theme song to that is a bop. It's amazing. Wait, so it's not gonna let me do anything until the train passes by? Well, I guess it did kind of impede my view. I want to actually get into Hogwarts, but I'm not sure I'll actually get into Hogwarts once I end this. I don't know. And you have 1 out of 5. Yeesh. I'll probably do that in a later video, but you know what? Well, let's not waste time. Come on, let's just get to Hogwarts. Get to Hogwash. Let's see. Then we got like the back alleys of Hogwarts. Well, what are my alleys? And then we're finally to the place. Even though, admittedly, it's kind of funny how he makes such a big deal to getting to Hogwarts, and now it's gonna be such a magical moment. That's why I might want to save it for the beginning of the next video, because, you know, it's supposed to be a big magical moment. I don't know. Now, maybe I'll start that one with me going into Hogwarts, but I just want to get there, because this is probably the time where Harry Potter was the absolute, well, maybe the fifth book rival, 6th book rivals this, but I think this is the time that Harry Potter was like probably the least. Actually, no, this was the time that he was the least excited to actually get into Hogwarts, because of the fact that he, you know, had stuff with like, oh, Umbridge and the Ministry are gonna take over the school, and also Voldemort is back to full power and he's probably gonna attack me at the end of the year, but at least not until the end of the year, because, you know, he values my education. I don't know. I would value my kids' education if they were going to Hogwarts, but not in regular school. Wait, I should do that to like the other side. Okay. Oh, and then we need another wheel for this broken down carriage. I'm gonna end this soon, but man, I'm just so tempted to keep going, but at the same time, I just like really don't want to do it because. Look, I have one goal. Just get to Hogwarts. At the end of this, just get into Hogwarts. Come on. It's all I ever wanted. Just one thing. Oh wait, I just said like I would get into Hogwarts at the beginning of the next Let's Play. But since I want to limit the amount of ones that I do until I finish the Goblet of Fire storyline in the other game, that means that I'm not going to be doing a lot of these. So that's the point. I didn't think Harry Potter and Luna Lovegood had any kind of romantic relationship. Okay, finally we're into Hogwarts. And then what? We probably have like some 5-minute cutscene or whatever. No. Oh my god, and people have the blankest expression. Yeah, they're clearly not excited that Umbridge is gonna be in. I see we have all the people, including Mr. Graggly Branch, or whatever her name was, who took over care of magical creatures in the last book or whatever. Mr. Gravelly Plank. Yeah, Gravelly Plank, I don't know. It was some kind of name that, like, I don't know, made me imagine an image of a bunch of mold and grass and whatever on a wood plank. I didn't think of Umbridge's speeches as being super boring, but more like super infuriating. Also, I'll go over this in the next one, which isn't going to be for a while, but I'll definitely have this idea in the back of my mind throughout this whole thing. But I'm thinking about, throughout the series, kind of acting out a more exaggerated version of Umbridge, who does even more damage to Harry Potter and his, his whole learning and his education and whatever at Hogwarts. But whatever, so I guess it's a wrap. Falling out, it's the end. Well, good night, Tri-State.